Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Kane. Today I'm sharing another layout for 30 days of sketches. This is day 14. And today's sketch is by Scrapbook Sketch. Lisa, I'm not going to even try to pronounce your last name. I have two photos instead of three, how the sketch shows. And they are of my great niece and nephew, and they are dressed up like Jasmine and Abu from Aladdin. So I think they're super cute. I have this rub on that says Halloween. This is super old from Karen Foster, and I end up not using it as my title piece. I also have gold stickers that I end up not using either. I just change my mind as I get started on the layout. I was going to use those tile stickers. I end up not using those either. I only pull a couple of the wordy bits off of this sticker sheet here. This one is Simple Stories, I believe. Um, and then I have Graphic 45 for my papers. This was a Halloween collection last year or the year before, I believe. Sorry, I don't remember the years. I have so much Halloween stash that I'm just trying to dig through it and use what goes together. So I'm kind of mixing and matching, but most of it is fairly old. I'm using a couple items that are new from this year as I create layouts, but most of it is from my stash. But anyways, this one here is kind of like a Alice in Wonderland theme. This paper here is actually from Photoplay, and the reason I pull this one in is it matches my great nephew's costume almost perfectly. It's the same orange tone that's in his costume. I'm going to keep it fairly simple. I decided to bring in these rub-ons instead for my stash. These are Cloud 9, and they are from 2009, I believe, and they actually do still work. I really believe that if you leave rub-ons closed, usually they will still work, and these ones do still work. Um, I also brought in gold thickers, the smaller, thicker set for the title or the additional title. And then I brought in another set of gold thickers that are Halloween, and they're gold and black. And I'm going to use a little bit of both. So here I tore three pieces of the paper, the striped black and cream color, the orange one, and then the other striped one is the back side of the blue spiderweb paper. And the blue spiderweb paper pretty much matches her outfit perfectly. And then I have the orange and then the black and cream, I just think plays so well with the gold. And there is gold on her outfit. So I was just playing that up. But I kept it fairly simple, kind of how the sketch is. The sketch is not very hard, I guess. The background is three pieces of paper. They have scallop edges instead of torn edges. And then she has flower embellishments on two of the corners, so kind of a diagonal design. I decided to go a little bit more towards the middle with my embellishments, and that's just because I'm scrapbooking a different size. So doing 11 by 8.5 kind of sort of gives you the same scale as 12 by 12, but you're still missing that 3.5 inches. So it's kind of hard to go full scale of a 12 by 12. But I definitely try. So here I pulled off this glittery Halloween word, which I absolutely love, and I think it looks really great. The other Halloween rub-on is not too big. I could have used it. It's less than 11 inches, so it would have fit across. But I just changed my mind and decided to go with this one. I'm looking at the stickers right now, deciding what words I could actually spell out. I was going to put Jasmine and Abu on the layout, and then I didn't have the right letters to spell out Jasmine. I was missing an M, and the W's don't look like an M, so I couldn't use one of those. I didn't have any N's left. I only had U's. So instead, I decided to go Halloween Aladdin style as my title. And I like the way that it looks, so it's okay. Sometimes that's just what you have to do to use up those stickers from your stash, and that is definitely something I'm trying to work through. I can't say I no longer buy thickers, but I try not to buy thickers any longer. I'm really trying to work through the stash that I have because I bought so many of them when Tuesday Morning was in business because the price point was so great. And every once in a while, you would find them at Hobby Lobby on clearance also. So I would buy them from there. So I have plenty of thickers to use in my stash. So here I have everything glued down as far as the thickers that are on the layout with liquid glue because these thickers are still kind of sticky, but definitely don't trust them to stay long term. I decided to go with the glittery bat and glittery stars up at the top by 22. Of course, the date was 2022, but I didn't have a third two. I only had two, so I only put 22. And then I'm going to use these cute little ghost rub-ons. I'm cutting them off of the sheet just so that I can place them, and then I'm going to rub them on. I did try one before I even picked these ones to use, so I did know that they still were going to be able to work. I also picked out a couple of little orange skulls, and those are just to add a little pop of orange at the top and the bottom. Since yeah, I needed a little more pop of the orange. So the little ghost rubbed on almost perfectly. I didn't think it was going to rub on at first, but once I pressed a little bit harder on it, I was able to get it to lay down. So this one here, I'm going to rub on over here. And then the little skulls, go ahead and rub those on. That one at the top, I almost totally messed up, but luckily it did not stick to itself, so I was able to fix it. Here I'm looking back at the sticker sheet, deciding what I'm going to pull off of it. I decided to pull off a couple of the wordy bits. This one here says trick or treat, the blue one. I am going to back it on a little piece of the orange paper, again, to bring that little pop of orange down at the bottom of the layout. And I also want to bring that blue. I wanted to bring the blue up to the top, but the wordy bit did not work up at the top, so I decided to go ahead and back it on orange since trick or treat was on the blue. And then this other one says, I love treats. And so it's kind of repetitive, but I think it's okay because, do you love tricks or do you love treats? And of course, the kids love the treats. So here I'm looking to see what else I can pull off and add on. I decided to add a couple more of those little glittery stars and then these little spiders from the sticker sheet also. And I did use whatever ink was on my brown ink dauber. I just rubbed it on there and kind of dirtied them up a little bit because they were stark white. I didn't want them to be stark white since there's not really white on this layout. It's all either cream or gold. I did put a little blue star off of the sticker sheet up here at the top, and that adds a little pop of the blue that I needed. I just traced around it with a Sharpie just to give it a black outline. And that is it. That is my layout complete. I hope you guys enjoyed the layout today. I definitely enjoyed using my stash to create this layout and also follow along with the sketch. And I love the way that it turned out. I don't know about on your screen. My screen, the color orange looks a little bit bright. I tried to tone it down, but I'm not sure how well it's coming off. I think the live video part kind of shows more of the true color of the layout, but I definitely love the way that it turned out. And I will have playlists down below for 30 days of sketches. You can also check out the Facebook group if you'd like to see more ideas for this sketch. Bye!